Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing a little Elite Dangerous. Haven't played this game in a long time, but in the past I've played it a lot. I've got way too much time invested in this game, but it is a lot of fun. It's a huge learning curve. I guess one of the bigger issues with this game is how you set your controller up. Because most people, when you play console games, here's your button layout. It's here. You can choose this one or that one or this one. This was ported from a PC, so you kind of got to do all the key mapping, and you do that in your options, and you go in and you set all that up when you first start playing. We'll go ahead and get started. One thing I really like about this game is you can play an open play, which is just one big world. It's open, everybody's in there, or you can do a private group, or you can do solo. They also have some PvP areas with arena, and then they also have some training. When I first started playing, they didn't have training. It was like they expected you to be able to know how to fly a starship, and it was very, very difficult. Just taking off and landing specifically, very difficult. It's a lot better now. There's training. You need to know how to take off and land manually in case you can't use your auto landing and auto taking off. Um, so that's really something you need to practice um, instead of just relying on it. Because if you get out there in a fight or something happens and your auto dock gets damaged and you can't repair it, then you're going to have to land manually, and you need to know how to do that. So, but definitely practice it, especially with your smaller ships when you first start. Get to know how to take off, how to land, all of that. So talking about session play, when you're talking about open, private, solo, and then I got squirreled. It's all one big game world, so something you do in private or in solo affects what happens in open, and I mean by the economy, right? So there's this whole economy to the game of how the state of the game currently is, and the system that you're at, and the factions that are in there. All of that um, changes according to what players are doing in those given locations. If you want to play with other players, you can definitely go in here. Back when I first started playing, had a lot of difficulty playing in open when you're in a little ship and people just, want to kill you. That's what they're out there to do. They're going to sit out there in their big engineered ship and destroy you as soon as they see you. And yeah, they're going to get a bounty for doing it, but they don't care. So I play in private group session. Now, everybody wants to play an open play. That's perfectly great. You go play an open play. I want to play with my friends, nobody else. So I can play that in my private group sessions. So I'll just fire mine up, and you can see I've got 20 members, and that's 20 of the people that I play with, or 19 of them, counting me. We play together. We don't have to worry about PvP. Um, And that's just the way I like it. In most games, I like that. I mean, you play Battlefield or something like that. Yeah, that's PvP. I don't care a bit. But in this, you work a long time to do a lot of stuff, and then suddenly someone kills you, and you lose the data or what have you that you were carrying. It's a big loss. So I don't really do much of that. I mean, if I want to go in and do PvP, I will. But most of the time, it's just fun to fly around. I'm on Jameson Memorial. The only way you can actually get a license to land at Jameson Memorial is to be elite in one of your standings. And you can see I'm elite in 3 of them. QC's the QCC rank there. That's the arena mode, the FPV. I haven't played much of that. I played some. You can see I'm helpless, so I haven't played very much. But I am elite in combat rank, explorer rank, and trade rank. But if you get any of those in elite status, you do get your license to land at Jameson Memorial. And what's cool about Jameson Memorial is they have all of the ships and all of the modules. So if you're getting a ship and then you want to, put guns on it and engines and all of that wonderful stuff, you got to rely on a lot of third-party tools to help you find stations that have the ships that you want and the modules that you want. So you end up spending a lot of time going back and forth, and you got to do that at first because you're not elite. You can't get here. But you can see the 38 ships that they've got. They've got, all 38 that's currently in the game. So you can buy them, and then also for the modules, when you're outfitting your ship, any of your modules you can actually purchase, like these, it's a 4D power plant, and 4A being the biggest, baddest, but in my particular case, I went with a exploration build on this, so I went with lightweight, and D is generally lightweight. But anyway, you can get into engineering and all that stuff later. You can see all my modules are engineered. This ship is fully engineered, so I have a really good jump range. You can see down in the bottom center of the screen there where it says jump current max, and the minimum jump being that's fully loaded. So I do have a cargo bay. If that cargo bay was full and I'm full of fuel, the maximum I could jump, it would be 71 light years. Current weight, meaning I'm full of fuel and I don't have anything in my cargo bay, I can jump 72 light years. The one on the max, I really don't get that. Maybe that comes in calculation when you're doing your neutron star jumping, which is a whole other video, but 77 is the max without fuel. Well, you can't jump without fuel. Maybe again, that comes into the calculations of neutron star jumping. There are neutron stars out there. You can overload your frameshift drive and you can jump that way up. I've got an Anaconda that can jump like 80 light years, and then a neutron star overload, I can jump 250, 275 light years, which really helps when you're trying to go across the galaxy. So if you don't know much about this game, it is basically a model of our galaxy. So if I look at the galaxy map, I can actually see my location here, Jameson Memorial. But if I zoom out, I can see all the little locations I've got bookmarked. All those little dots are systems that you can go to. So those are star systems that you can go to within our galaxy. So it is the Milky Way galaxy. It's our galaxy, and Earth is out there. If you want to go there, you do have to have a permit. But you can see, if I keep zooming out, there's very little part where I am. If I turn the camera this way, you can see that's the center out here of our solar system. So it's the Milky Way solar system. And it's a very long way. You can see I've got bookmarks going all the way out to Beagle Point. So I have went to Beagle Point and back, which is the farthest known star system in our galaxy. It took about 2 weeks of playing to get out there and back. It's a long way. And there's not a lot out there. But today we're specifically talking about, we're making some money because I do have a carrier, and the carrier does require upkeep. So every now and then I come in and I do some stuff to make some money to make sure that my carrier is being paid for and that kind of thing. So if I go to my carrier management, I can still see I got 6.5 billion in the bank in the carrier. So I got plenty of money, but I wanted to do a little playing today, so I was going to show you how I get money to pay for upkeep and that kind of things. So what I want to do is fly back to my carrier. Actually, I don't really need to go to my carrier, but I got to go close to where my carrier is, so I'm just going to hit that. And we're doing missionary missions. So missionary missions is kind of like a bounty mission. It's going to be factions of one system that are pissed off at the factions in the other system, and they want you to go kill them so you can pick them. And in particular, if you watch videos, they talk about Manani and Nagalan. This can happen anywhere. I've found other systems that are off the beaten path that this works. But it's basically you're looking for two systems that are, relatively close together that aren't relatively close to anything else. So, there's not a lot of systems relatively close. Like I think within 10 or so light years from the main system, then you won't do that. And the reason why you try to do that. You're trying to get a secluded couple of systems so that when you go in there, the missions they offer are generally going to be go here, go here. This one's going to be, hey, get some, go here. So you're going to go back and forth between these because nothing's in this system. There's just sun, a star, and some rocks. But here there's planets. So between these two, you're going to get missions in these two states to go from one to the other. And you're going to want to do this at first. You're going to go to this system and get courier missions. You're going to take them over here and drop them off. You're going to get courier missions that go back to Manani, and you're going to drop them off. And you're going to do that till you get sick and tired of doing courier missions. But what that's going to do is get your reputation up with the factions in these two systems. And the reason you want to do that, the higher your reputation is, the more missions they offer, and the more those missions actually pay out. So we will start. I don't really need to go. I can contemplate going to the carrier, but I really don't need to go to the carrier right at the moment. Bookmarks are awesome, but after you've been playing a long time, you forget where the heck what was. So I end up trying to label these, as you can see, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. This kind of tells you go here to do something to take to these three places. That's kind of what I've did, because you can't really sort these or put them in categories, but to be able to sort them and kind of categorize them, I tend to put numbers and letters in front of them. That way they kind of show up together. As you can see, the two A's, there's something I could do here, and I kind of named it city to deliver here. So you picked up the missions here, you delivered them there. Who knows when that was, why that was doing that, but that's what it was, and that kind of tells me, hey, this is where I picked up the missions, this is where I delivered them, and I don't really remember what that was for. But I'm looking for actually specifically Manani and Nagalan, so I kind of wanted to see. Of course, I don't remember the name of the place. Let me just look at the system map real quick. Maybe that will jog my memory of where I went. So, okay, so now I see this. This is the system I think we fight in. Yeah, this is Manani. So we want to go, now that I've kind of got that, I remember now we want to go. I click on that bookmark to get us back down here. We want to go to Nagalan. And if I look in the system map here, I can set a plot a course to that system, or I can go inside the system map. I can actually put my cursor on Hickam Survey there, and I can say plot route, and it will plot the route from where I'm at to the system and then to the station. So it saves me the step. If I go from system to system, I then got to bring up the system map again and set the point to Hickam Survey. So at this point, I can just go straight there. And you can see now I've got my bookmarks kind of, that's only what's in this system. So I could have went, I was looking for M.2A. So that would have been Mercenary Missions 2A that I was looking for. So I've got my route plotted. So I can just hit beam back out of there. And the way I've got it set up, if I click in on my right stick, I can move my head. So if I can move my head, I can then look at my left and right panels to do what I need to do. So I've got my route plotted, and you can see at the top there where it's saying that this is where I am, this is where I'm jumping to next, and how many jumps to get to Nagalan. And of course, I've got this big 71 light year ship, so this 200 light year travel is only going to take me 4 jumps. So I am full of fuel. Always, the first thing I do when I land, before I do anything else, is I fuel my ship, I repair my ship, make sure everything is stocked. So these are all white, grayed out, meaning I'm full. So if they were orange, that would mean, say that drop was orange, I would be out of fuel. But I just do that out of habit to make sure that I am full every time I land before I forget and take off. So we'll go ahead. I am equipped with the auto dock and auto launch. Again, you should know how to do it manually. Yes, I can do it. But it's really nice to click the button and let it drive. I own a Tesla. I double click the thing, it auto drives me to work. So Why not let my spaceship do it?
Maintain correct lane on exit.
The auto dock takes you out a certain amount ahead, and then it will disengage, but you can go ahead and throttle up and kill it. You want to pay attention underneath where it says Capjlp. That's my radar. I can see the green things flying around. Those are ships, specifically Allied ships, because they're green. If there were other ships out there that were just regular folks or NPCs, they would be orange. You can see they're kind of turning orange now, but that's because I'm kind of leaving scanning range to know what those ships are. Right under the C, where it says Capjlp, that's my compass, and that tells me that my point that where I'm jumping to currently is behind me, because it was a circle that wasn't filled in. Now that it's a circle filled in, it's in front of me. And I just set all my power to everything. Use your D-pad. That sets you over on the right side. You can see I'm setting weapons, systems, engine. I'm just traveling around this thing. It doesn't have any weapons, so there's no sense of sending power to weapons. This is a Explorer, so if I get caught on it in this thing, I've pretty much had it. And I'm holding my Y button there, and that reminds me of what I need to do for this particular thing. If I hit Y and I hit one of those buttons on the D-pad, or R and B, what it does. So if you kind of forget what your buttons are, just hold the button. You know, if I hold A, there's my target. So that's kind of how I cycle through targets when I'm fighting something. If I hold B, there's B. So if I needed to raise or lower my landing gear or cargo scoop, I could do up or down on the D-pad accordingly. Turn the lights on. So I just turned exterior light on. You can go into suite. That's just however you set your buttons up. You know, your buttons may be totally different than mine. That's X. So if I wanted to go to the communication panel or internal panels, which is like looking left or right, it does zoom in so you can see them a little better. And that's instead of moving your head. But in this particular case, I want to actually fire up my frame shift drive. And I can see if I hold Y, Super Cruise is what my option is.
Frame shift drive charging.
And I can just tap Y, and since it's its most logical thing that I'm in Super Cruise, it's going to go to frame shift drive. So we're charging our frame shift drive. We're going to jump to this next system 71 light years away. So we're now in hyperspace, and I'm doing double quotes. You can't see me, but frame shift drive, you know, light speed, faster than light travel, that kind of thing. And then I need to fuel scoop, so I'm going to kind of get in the mode here to fuel scoop, and I see that yellow line there at the top of my screen. I'm just going to keep it right in there and keep some fuel scoop, and I can pull it more closer to the sun. I'm going to get hotter. And I kind of do it just right in there. Now, I really don't even have to do this. I could jump 4 jumps, no problem on fuel, but I'm kind of showing you how you fuel scoop, because that is another difficult thing to learn how to do. And you're going to get hot. You see at 80%, you need a little steam coming off the dash, but hey, we're good. You don't really take damage till you get up over 100%, then you start taking a little bit of damage. But always let that cool off a little bit, and then I go ahead and start driving. I could be scanning the system, but I've already been here. And I just fired off a heat sink, I think. Oops. Cool down. You usually can do all your jumps, you know, 99.9% of the time without using that heat sink, but the heat sinks are pretty handy if you're you're needing a lot of fuel quick, then you can stay in here and scoop longer. The way I've got my routing set up is to stay with star systems that I can scoop from.
Temperature critical.
So in other words, there could have been a faster route, but there may not have been any gas stations. So just to keep myself from having to manually look for gas stations, I set my route calculator up to take me through stars that I can scoop from.
Frameshift drive charging.
There's all kinds of things you can do in this game. There's mining, there's trading, there's combat, exploration. There's all kinds of stuff. So whatever you like to do, and I like to do a lot of it. I've done all of it. The best way to make money as of last time I played was actually combat, and it hadn't been that in the past. It's been mining or trading and then combat. But the last time that I'd played, which has been a while, they had buffed these missionary missions or mercenary missions that I hope is still there, since the title of this video is mercenary missions, that they're still here. So we're making our last jump into Nagalan system, and then we'll be going to Hickam survey to land, refuel, repair, and look for mercenary missions. Dang, I'll get that right in a second. This is on Game Pass, so if you've got Game Pass, it's something that you might like. You kind of like simulation type games, you should try it. It is a learning curve. Be prepared to be frustrated as all get out. Hopefully the video on how to scoop fuel helps, because it is very difficult to learn when you're first doing it. I didn't need to fuel scoop there, but it is a habit to always fuel scoop. Fuel is cheap, so bullets and fuel are fairly cheap. I'm trying to remember, is it both buttons? Yeah, okay. See, so I have it, I'm heading full throttle toward that place. What I'm looking for is that counter there where it says Hickam survey, how many light seconds I'm away, and I'm 1 minute and it's counting down. At 7 seconds, I want to go to 75% throttle, and I've got it set up that when I click both bumpers, it pulls to 75% throttle. And the reason you do that, you want to slow down. If you don't slow down, you will keep going and you will pass it and have to do what we call the loop of shame, which is to try to come back and get landed. So once you set up 75% throttle, though, this is really, really easy. There is 7 seconds. There I went to 75%. You can see on the throttle down there in the center where the radar is over to the right, that's my throttle, and you see the throttle indicator came back when I did that. So now I'm slowing down. You can see that counter stopped, and lots of people go, I don't get that, the counter should be counting down, that doesn't make any sense, blah blah blah. Well, you got to realize you're in space, and this is a very long way. When it says 4 light seconds, that's how long it takes light to travel. That's a long way. And you can see there to the left of my compass the station, so I can kind of get oriented to that station, how I want to come into that station. And since this is an outpost station, it really doesn't matter, but if this were a normal station and you're trying to land up with what we call the mail slot, or where you land, that's how you can come in oriented to the mail slot the way you want to be, which can help if you're maybe doing smuggling, which is another thing you can do. There's also passenger missions, and I've got some big passenger rigs, and I pack passengers around for money and exploration and whatever it is that you get. So I just dropped out of Super Cruise into regular cruise now. And then I want to get within 6.5 kilometers. I'm there. I'm going to go at 0 throttle. And then I'm going to tell Hickam Survey that I'd like to land. So they've accepted my request and giving me the docking to proceed to landing pad. It's really hard to see these colors too, but my auto dock is taking over and I'm docking. And if this was manual, I would have to manually fly around the station, find pad 2, and manually land.
Landing gear deployed.
And yes, it's much harder to do, and yes, I can do it, but this is really nice. I just like hitting the button and relaxing, listening to the wonderful little classical
Docking
music.
successful. Engines disengaged.
So you can see that orange now what I'm talking about. These are white, meaning I don't really need any repairs of fuel or bullets, but I do need fuel, so I'm just going to hit that button. Now I'm full of fuel. You can see that it's white when I come off there. Go to Starport Services. And I want to look at the mission board. And courier missions, courier missions, courier missions. Not looking good. Courier missions. Massacre missions, here you go. So you look through your factions and you see I'm seeing these couriers over there to the right where it says National Hip 6108. That's the name of this factions. That's all of the state that they're in, their economy state, their security, their system influence, reputation. Whatever state that's in indicates what type of missions these are. And you can change that state as a player by doing certain things. You can look all that up if you like. That's a totally separate thing. But since they're in Boom, they're really not offering anything but courier missions. But like I said, the courier missions, that's how you get your rep up quick. So what you would do would be take all of these missions that go to Manani. Notice they all go to the same place. And that again is because the only closest place within, 10 or so light years is Manani. In this case, it's only 3, so it's a one jump if you can jump 3.82 light years. So that's easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? So you would jump over there, you turn these all in for reputation. You can see they can be turned in for credits, reputation, or influence. That's a whole other thing too about what influence and reputation are, but that's what will change system influence. For influence, and reputation is the reputation for that faction. You can see I'm allied with this faction. It's because I have done a lot of courier missions and a lot of massacre missions for this faction. Now, unfortunately, when you do the massacre missions, it says the Brothers of Manani. So when we go to Manani, the faction Brothers of Manani, they're not going to be real happy with us because we've been killing all their people. So you don't want to get in way too much trouble if the Brothers of Manani run that station. So if the Brothers of Manani run that station and you are an enemy, or what would be hostile, because you've killed a bunch of their brothers, then they're going to shoot at you and you're not going to be able to land at that station. But if you go away for a while and you come back, they tend to forget. You're going to be kind of just an acquaintance, or not even acquaintance, maybe unfriendly. And then you do a few courier missions for them. Hey, they're happy with you again. So if that, something to keep in mind. But what you want to do when we talk about mission stacking is we're going to take missions from these people, and hopefully these other people are going to have missions too. So if I come up here and I take, let's see, this is 34 million credits to kill 72 pirates. That's a lot of pirates. And the lower ones are going to be the same. But to kind of show you what I would normally just take all of these. But to show you, I'm going to try to take the lower ones. That's 36. And I don't really want to take the ones without the blue circle. So yeah, this one doesn't have the blue little circle. Those do. These are wing missions. So that means if I'm in a wing with my buddies, we can kill stuff and share missions. So if they get a massacre mission for 30 million, and I've got one for 30 million, when we go to turn in, I get my 30 million for this mission and share it with him. He gets the 30.5 million. And then when he turns his in, he'll get his 30 and I'll get his 30. So, and then if you got 4 people in your wing, that's a lot of money. So stacking though is if I take one mission from this person, I'm just going to take this lower one for now, and that's 36 pirates. If I go here and I take this one, that's 54. I don't have to kill 54 plus 36. All I've got to kill is 54, and that's going to finish both missions, right? At 36, the one's going to be finished, and then when I kill the additional 20-some, they'll both be finished. So that's the stacking part. You can take 20 missions. So what I usually do is I kind of go through here picking out missions from each faction so that they're stacked. And usually what I would do would be you can take 20 missions. I would take probably 20 missions however I could get them, and I would stack them as I go and turn in. But it looks like in this particular case, so I can show you, I'm not going to take more than those 3. So that's really one mission, right? I got to go kill the maximum number, I think was 54. So once I kill 54, all 3 of those missions will be done. I can turn them in, or I can wait till my friends are online, get them in the wing, and share them with them before I turn them in. So I could share the first one, turn it in, share the second one, turn it in, share the third one, turn it in, and we'd be sharing, I'd be sharing the money that I made with my buddies. And hopefully they will return the favor and do the same thing. So with that said, we got fuel. We will go to our galaxy map and we'll go to our carrier, which is only one jump away. And I'll plot there. And go ahead and take off.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
You can get in trouble for speeding if you hit another ship, but generally around these stations you only got one ship. Maybe some NPC will come flying through since I'm in solo, or close friends. So you gotta, if you get a speeding ticket, you gotta go pay for it. So try not to do that. Once I get out of mass lock, which I am, I can go ahead and go to frame shifter. And we're going back to carry the Swift ships, to our ship that we're going to kill all these people in, because again, this is my Explorer, and you'll remember earlier I said it doesn't have weapons, so we can't kill anything in this thing. Taking those missions will possibly get somebody hunting you right about now. If so, you'll have to try to get away from them. I'm using my compass to know where my carrier's at. Once it's a solid dot and right in the middle of the crosshairs, I'm going towards it. Same way with landing at the station. I mean, this is really a mobile station. You're going to wait till 7 seconds, and you're going to go to 75% throttle. I did notice on the carriers, like, you know, before when I'm changing orientation and that kind of thing, the carrier's not rotate. Oh, I missed my 7 seconds. Going to see the loop. Shame. You can see, and what happens there, everybody goes, well, I don't get that, I don't understand. Well, it's gravity forces, right? So I'm going back to 75%. I should be slowing down enough now. I'm at 6 seconds. I think I'm okay. I'm at 75%. So that was a loop of change. That sun glare is kind of rough on me. I'm trying to figure out where my carrier is on which side of the planet it's orbiting here. I don't want to get inside the gravity well too much of that planet because it will slow me down, so that's why I'm kind of aiming below it. You can see the little outline lines above it, kind of tells you where that big huge gravity well is, and if you go inside there it will kick you out of super cruise and you'll be orbiting the planet. So when I get to 1 kilometer, it's going to tell me I can jump out. Jumping out of super cruise into regular space.
We see you out there, Commander. Let us know if you'd like
There
to
she is. UST Gettysburg. So I go ahead, go to 0 throttle, request docking.
Clearance granted. Move directly to your landing pad.
It's a good thing I was granted landing since it's my carrier.
Your docking computer is in control.
Carriers do have lots of security. They've got lots of weapons, and they generally have fighters flying around. You can see I got a green one out there. So don't shoot at carriers. It's a bad idea. So while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and fuel, and I am restocking, and that's that heat sink that I wasted earlier.
Welcome, Commander.
I'm going to go to carrier management because I'd actually like to move this carrier to the Nagalan system, but it was full earlier, so I couldn't. And I really like to be... No, Manani's where I want to go, dang it. You see those red markers, that means they're full. There's no parking spots. I'd really like to move it here. No free slots. So it's not going to let me. No free slots. No free slots, no free slots, no free slots. And you just gotta wait. I mean, all of these are player carriers, so you know there's lots of people down here doing these mercenary missions. The blue indicator around a planet means that is a landable planet. If it's got the little city symbol, a little thing there, means there's actually a station on that planet or some sort of structure, right? There's maybe not a station. I think in this case it may be, but it could be an outpost or something, which some missions require you to go there, do something, which generally cause you to be in trouble. But I can't move. I'll check later before I leave. Maybe somebody will move out of a parking spot and I can get one. So I need to go to carrier services, I need to go to my shipyard, and I need to switch to the ship that I'm in. And I basically have all my ships stored here. I mean, that's the advantage of a carrier, is you can have all of your ships on board, and several of my friends are actually parked on the carrier. So if I move the carrier, it would be nice to let them know that I am moving the carrier, and I have jumped out to the center of the galaxy and back with the carrier, and I probably will not do that again. That was way too much effort. It does jump 500 light years in a jump, but it does take 30 minutes to charge the frameshift drive after a 5-minute cooldown. And I want my Federal Corvette, but I think... where's my Federal Corvette? It's not that one. That one. Biohazard. So I have two. Like, why do you have two? Well, they're set up differently, and I just didn't like swapping in and out the different components. And I had the money to do it, and the engineering materials to engineer it, so I did build two. So Beggar's Canyon, of course, they're kind of a montage there to Star Wars. If you want to shoot swamp rats, that's the one you take. And it's an all laser build. You can see the hard points are all lasers. So if you want to go out and kill a lot of ships with your buddies, best way to go. Because your buddies are helping you kill stuff. Your DPS is good on those because those are all engineered weapons. And you never run out of ammo. Whereas the Federal Corvette Biohazard is set up with all multi-cannons, couple of burst lasers, and they're all engineered. And you can see the engineering, what they have there. So you can see the pulse laser is oversized, just so it does a little more damage. And then the burst laser, 1G burst laser, has that coordinate sequence on it, which causes wonderful things happen to their shields. And that's what I want to do. I want to try to get the shields down quickly. But where I have these incendiary rounds, those on the multi-cannons, generally they don't hurt the shields very much. But when it's engineered with incendiary rounds, it will rip the shields off very quickly. And then the corrosive shells, of course, does lots of corrosive damage to the hull. And the emissive munitions, I can't remember what that even... Oh, yeah, it makes them hot. So they'll stay on your scanner if they hit a heat sink. And heat is a problem you have to worry about when you're fully engineered. Your weapons are like that laser build puts off quite a bit of heat while you're using all of the lasers. So you kind of gotta... I've got some lasers on one trigger and some lasers on the other. That way if I start getting hot, I can not use all of them at once. But we're going to take this ship. And I want to use this ship. I do not want to sail my ship. And this is a big ship. The Corvette is a kind of an end game. You got to be max faction with the whoever it is. Now I've done forgot, man. I haven't played this game so long. I'm at 104% power usage. But I think, that's the way that I've got my shutoffs, the 1, 2, and 3s. It's all automated, so it pulls that down as I use stuff. Just trying to make sure. See, my fire groups are messed up. Why are my fire groups messed up? Wow. What happened to my fire groups, man? Well, So So I'm assigning those two to button 2. So trigger 2. These will all be on trigger 1. My second fire group, I will have 1, 2. If I need to hit a shield cell bank, which probably shouldn't. But that will recharge your shields. If I'm getting hit really hard, I can hit those to recharge my shields a little faster. I'm not running heat sinks on here because I will generate a crap ton of heat when I'm do a shield gen, but one of my lasers pulls heat off. So as I hit the target, it actually transfers my heat to them. So it's pretty handy. I don't know what happened to my fire groups. That's really concerning. Wonder if that happened on all the ships. But anyway, we are going to go to our system map because we're in... No, we're not in the right system. Sorry. Totally wrong. Gotta wait for this to load just to say, yeah, totally wrong. We have to go to the galaxy map. We're going to Manani. And you can do these where you do bounties normally. So any planet usually with rings was going to have the sites that you can mine, basically. So those mining sites are where you will go into to do our bounty hunting. So either of these two planets work. I've had pretty good luck at this one, but we'll go to this one. It's been a long time, so maybe this one's really good. So I've plotted my route to the Manani system to this planet, so we're good to go. I know we're in Explorer mode and I need to get to combat mode, and I'm going to have to look that up to what button I have mapped to that. So again, to get this ship, you have to be allied with the Federation, and then also have the one with the Empire. And it's a big ship. It's not the greatest for combat because it doesn't turn. So I mean, it will work. I used it for a long time because I think it's a really cool looking ship, but this one turns so much better. I am running bi-weave shields, and it's because they do charge faster. I mean, you can definitely get, and I've got the Empire Azling Duval's shields, and they are more powerful, but when they go down, it takes a long time to charge. So that just takes me out of the fight much longer to wait for my shields to come back. So I run bi-weaves. They are fully engineered.
Frameshift drive charging.
You want to make sure when you're doing bounty hunting or mercenary missions you don't have anything in your cargo. Otherwise, all of the pirates in here will attack you immediately. There is sometimes you want that to happen. I do have a Type 10 set up to kind of do this kind of AFK, so you can go into a lower threat area and just basically sit there with all your guns on auto with something in your inventory and they will automatically attack you, and you will automatically kill them. It's really boring. Not going to do a video on that because that is just me sitting there in space, but it does work. And the only reason I would do that and do that sometimes is to pay the upkeep on the carrier. It's $24 million a week. Yeah, you heard that right. 24 million a week. And that's after you pay over $5 billion for it. And then all of the costs to add all the services. It's crazy how they make this game so grindy. It's really grindy. They say they're going to fix that. It would be interesting how they fix that. Hopefully it's lowering the frickin' upkeep cost on your carrier. And everything else in the game. The engineering, we don't even want to talk about engineering. Because that's a whole nother 15 videos on engineering. And it's a long time to get all of the engineers unlocked and get them maxed out. And then engineer the actual components you want to engineer. You don't have to engineer ships. You can play this game without, but they are much better when you engineer. So I really want to go into the hazardous resource extraction site. And both of these looks like they are. I don't even see any others. I think the other planet does have a low. I want to go in on a light side of the ring just so I can see. Going to 75% throttle so I can slow down. Same way. And you do it at a station. So I'm at 75%. I am slowing down. I am heading into the rings. I'm heading a little too close. I don't want to hit the rings until I'm kind of directly over top of my target. Otherwise I'll basically go into an emergency stop. Because those rings are rocks. So you don't want to, fly too low toward the ring and skip off the ring and be cut out, because that'll just time and effort for you to get back into Super Cruise and all of that. So I need to look very quickly here. I'm just stopping my boat. And I hit X and all my weapons come up, but it says that I am in the blue indicator that I'm in Explorer mode versus combat mode. So I need to remember how to do that. Oh wow, this is new. It tells me how I've set everything up. Wow. Well, that's cool. Oh, that's all kind of new. Wow. So they kind of figured out, hey, this is way too much effort for people to set crap up. Okay, let's go to controls. So here's what I'm used to looking at. You come in here, and it's a mode switch, so maybe it's under here. Discovery mode, switch cockpit mode, there it is. Y and down on the D-pad.
Cannot comply.
Ah, combat mode's activated. Oh, I don't think I brought a fighter, so I don't have my fighter. I actually have a fighter, and so they kind of help you, it goes out, it's an AI pilot. He's one of these brothers of Manani. As soon as I can get in range, I am going to fire on him. He is in a wing of 3. He's probably going to get killed before I can get to him. There he is. left triggering now. Try to get those lasers to hit him. He just went red, indicating that I do have hits on him. Throttle back a little. Put some power kind of like that. The shields are down. You can see those weapons are doing what they need to do. He's gone. I'm using my radar to find out that target that's flashing red means he's shooting at me. Bye. So those were two brothers in Manani. That's two of the dudes I needed to kill. You want to make sure we get that scan before we shoot. He's wanted, but you can see he is somebody industrial. That's not who we really want. I mean, he's got a bounty, so we could kill him, not get in trouble, and we could collect his bounty, but I'm really after brothers in Manani people. Make my way back down toward the resource extraction zone. All the little white things floating down here are engineering materials, or illicit cargo in this case. So I don't really want that. Illicit cargo will get you in trouble. You'll have to smuggle it in, even on your own carrier. Generally, you don't get scanned. There you go. See, that's a crystal shard. I've got 233 out of 300. So, I mean, I come out here a lot with another ship with Olympic controllers, and I'll pick all that stuff up till I get full. And I did that not too long ago. And those are small ships too, so they're not generally going to be very good. It's going to be stuff that you got a lot of. If you wanted to, you could go over there, cargo scoop it. That takes a lot of work, especially in this big boat. Cargo scoops underneath the bottom. The ship's bigger than it looks on the screen. It's a really big ship. The ships will come in waves, so eventually they will spawn in more. So you just wait for that spawn. Sometimes they will quit spawning and you'll have to leave this area and come back. So if you leave, like jump out of here to Super Cruise, and you come back in, it basically resets the instance. So you'll have new people. I'm trying to remember where I had my settings before. The engine, the more power you have in the engine, of course, the faster you can turn. I think I had... Maybe that was the way I had it. I can't recall. I'll have to fight a little bit and see what my shields are doing and how fast my weapons are getting drained. With the multi-cannons, they don't require as much power, of course, as a laser. So if I was running straight lasers, that'd be something like this. And you're kind of sluggish and slow. That might work. I'm going to try 2 and 2 and 2. See, that's one good thing if you actually, if you have somebody, one of your buddies on board, say they're flying a fighter, then you get an extra pip of power, so you could actually put that in engines or weapons wherever you needed it. So I'm getting scanned. One thing I can do is I can go over here and I can look at context and I can see this dude that's scanning me. I can click on him, and that means I've targeted him. He scanned me, which means and he said you're not hauling anything, so that tells me he's a pirate. And he's a mission target, so we'll let him have it. Trying to keep my big circle on the mini circle so that everything's lined up. multi-cannons were reloading there. And he goes bye-bye.
Target destroyed.
Again, this ship is fully engineered, so it kills them very quickly. Mission target. So I've got him interested now. He's coming back. Oh, he just hit. There's fighter just came out, and he's firing chaff. So my target sensors aren't doing. These aren't fixed weapons, right? They're scanning for that target. If they pop chaff, your targets won't scan. But that's really not that big a deal. You just can wait a second. And if you're close range like that, half the time it hits anyway. Now, if you're PvP, and it's totally different, of course. You would want to be fixed and be really good with fixed weapons. Oh, we got some big ships coming in here. Let's see what they are.
Target cargo dropped.
An anaconda and a crate. And they are not the people we're looking for. I really want to kill them. There's probably a good bounty, but it is 3. So we will target the crates first. Get my scan on each one. He's popping his chap. He's gone. I'll go to my next target. I can see one of my shield rings is going down. Not as much as his. Daka 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 daka. Multi-cannons are reloading. He's gone. Next target. This is the big anaconda. Anaconda. Somebody else wanting to fight already. His shields are down. I just hit him. Does a lot of damage, but it also hurts my shields. And he's gone. Go ahead and put some more power in systems. Recharge those shields. That's a mission target. Here's where your fighter would come in handy. You could actually send your fighter out there first. He'd get to the aggro, and then you could get a few shots in while that, you know, without getting your shields damaged too much. Go ahead and put some shots on him. Get him interested in me, so he's coming back. This is a little ship, so he's going to be kind of hard to keep up with. And they like to bounce off your shields because that's the only way they can hurt you, apparently. Don't hit me, man. Just die.
Target destroyed.
Hot Pants McGee, and he is wanted, and he's also a mission target. Go ahead and get a target. hits on him, get him interested in me, he'll turn around. As soon as he's in range, we'll start shooting. So he has hit me with something thermal related, so I have to watch my heat a little. They definitely like to hit you. There's one of those fixed weapons coming at me that I avoided. I'm a little sluggish because I got a little power out of my engines going to my shield at the moment.
Target destroyed.
But he's gone. Next. He's wanted, but he's not one of our dudes. I'm full systems at the moment. We'll see what else we got.
Scan detected.
You can see his bounty. He's only 16 grand. He's not worth my time and effort at the moment. I really want to get those shields back up. I'm trying to use my radar. Of course, we got a lot of white crap flying around with those engineer materials. It's getting a little harder to see what's going on. But I'm looking for those orange squares and triangles. Let me know where ships are. And you can see I've still got nothing on that back, on that outer ring there on the right side where it shows my ship in the 3 to 2 blue lines, 1 red. Those should be all 3 blue, indicating your shield strength. And you can see the bi-weaves haven't built back yet. So if you don't have the bi-weaves, it takes even longer to recharge. There's a mission targets. And scan him, see if he's the other dude in the wing. He is. Get rid of him first. He's bye-bye. His buddy may make a run for it since his buddy died so fast. Then again, maybe not. Need to put some power back in my weapons.
Target destroyed.
Next. Not the guy we're looking for. It's a Fertilance mission target. It's starting to get a little color in that outer ring. apparently we've scratched his paint. As he's got 35% hull left. Bye!
Target destroyed.
So you not only you get the money for the mission, but also the bounties when you turn those in. So you'll always come out with, a few $1,000,000 in bounties plus the missions. You can check your progress by looking at your transactions. You can see that I've killed 9 out of 36. And if I look at these, it's going to say this 9 out of 54. 9 out of 45. That guy's clean. That's why you do a scan. So that means he's clean. He's not a target. He's not wanted. If you shoot him, you're wanted. And then you got to go pay your bounties. That's a big pain in the ass. You got to pay the bounties in the ship that you got the bounty in. They did that because of all the people that want to go kill you. You want to stay around 8 kilometers or less from the center. You can go out more, you get more, but it generally works better if you stay closer to where this extraction site center is. I try to stay up and out of the rocks, because that way you're not bouncing off the rocks, hurting your shield. This is a good game to, get your music player of choice going on your Xbox. Listen to some music, kill some stuff. Looks like we got a wing coming. Mission target. Ships. I didn't bother to get scans. He's done. Switch to the next target. Using your radar to track your targets is definitely something you need to do. Next target. Bye.
Target destroyed.
Oops. Ran into part of his leftover remains. You can see my outside ring there is blue, but it's not as blue as the other two, so they're not full yet. And you can see my ammo there, indicators over there on the multi-cannons. I am eating through ammo pretty fast, so I will have to make a swing by the carrier, which is I would like to get the carrier here so I can get bullets. If I had the carrier parked around this planet, it would be easy peasy lemon squeezy. There are other carriers, and they had services that if they are, if you can land, then they do have services for refit and refuel. You can get bullets and beans back out, but I don't know that they're here, so it's much better just to have my carrier here. And they make a little bit of money selling you the fuel and the bullets. I'll go ahead and check real quick and see if I can move my carrier here again. No free slots. If you just do it on the system, it goes to the star, and I thought, well, I'd just try that first. This guy Dev is scanning me. You can tell by his text there he is a pirate. Mission target.
Target destroyed.
Target destroyed. A naughty mouse. Let's see.
Frame shift charge detected.
Oh, he's trying to leave. Unfortunately, I don't think I can get him that far away. Come back! And he got away.
Scan detected.
And they're wanted, but they're not mission targets.
Scan detected.
They're all scanning me. Mission target.
Frame shift charge detected.
Ah, he ain't gonna make it.
Target
Tried to
destroyed.
do a frame shift drive. Didn't work. And you're like, well, this is really easy. Again, this is a fully engineered, great big badass ship. So don't expect that to come into your Sidewinder and this to be so easy. Now, if you're in your Sidewinder, you can pick on targets one at a time. The smaller ships are no problem. Like the Anaconda and the two crates a while ago, don't shoot at those guys if you buy yourself an unengineered ship. It's not going to end well. So you have to pick your fights according to, your ship. Wait for the next wave. There's a lot of waiting.
Scan detected.
Sylvia, something another. Not a mission target, but just to get rid of it so something will spawn back. He's got rockets.
Target cargo dropped. Scan detected.
That's those guys from a while ago. So you do kill them, you know, it'll make them respawn. So I may end up having to kill those guys, otherwise they're just going to fly around for a while before they finally leave. He's a mission target.
Target destroyed.
This most likely is a miner. Capjlp he's in. Yep, he's clean. So if you do come in here mining, that's what those ships are after. So if you want to mine, make sure you watch some mining videos. You basically would come in here with nothing in your inventory. You'd let everything scan you, let them leave. You'd get away from the center a little bit and you'd start doing your mining. Once you start picking up stuff, as soon as you get scanned, that's when you got to get ready to get the hell out of here. In a hazardous, you do have a better chance of finding stuff, but there's no cops to come and help you. If you go into a medium or low, there will be system ships jump in to help you if you get fired upon. Got an adder somewhere.
Scan detected.
Not a mission target, but he's alone. He is wanted. It's chafing. It's chafing.
Target destroyed.
There's a fight going on over there. Let's go see what's going on over there. Using my boost. That's why I put everything in the engine so I can faster boost often. He's wanted in a wing of 3, but he's not a mission target. An anaconda though, he's probably got a good bounty.
Under attack. Scan detected.
Jamming speed.
Target destroyed.
100 grand. Mission target. Ah, disappeared. He's still down here though. Got his attention in the rocks.
Under attack.
You don't need those shields, do you?
Destruction. Shields offline.
I have to put some more power in the engines to get turned on this guy a little faster. And that's where a little ship will eat you up, you know, especially a PvP guy that's really good. He flies circles around you and you can't get on him in a big ship.
Target destroyed.
You can also fly with flight assist off, and so you'll, you know, you're in space, so you'll go whichever way the ship's going at the last thrust. Gets kind of dizzy, but it does make you turn faster. These are those three guys still flying around causing trouble. That's a mission target. Did I hit him? Nope, he's too far away. Two, three, not wanted. That guy is. Or maybe his fighter that's out in the wing, I don't know. Got his attention.
Under attack. Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
That was his wingmate.
Under attack. Target shields offline. Critical. Target destroyed.
Yeah, temperature critical, you can tell that's why I'm laying on those weapons for so long. But it cools down real fast. Again, one of my lasers pulls heat, so I can always let off of, you know, the multi-cannons and just use the burst lasers to pull that heat down quick. Sometimes you don't even have to let off, it drags the heat down as you're shooting. $18 to $45. 54 is what we gotta get. Don't know if we'll get them all on this stream. But if you got 24, 20 good stacked missions, you can finish 4, 5 pretty quick. Most of the time, it's only 4 of those factions that's going to give them to you. You can get a lot done out just flying around. You can log off here, come back in, finish them up. You get them all finished, you go turn them in. If you got 3 of your buddies turning in 20 missions at the same time you do, it's billions of credits. If you got good buddies like I do, that I have the carrier, they share missions with me to keep that upkeep going. They'll also buy trading materials from me at a very high price so that I make money. I also have an alternate account on another Xbox that I can share with back and forth so that he's got money and then he can buy stuff from me and sell it so that I can make more money. It's all about the credits. You can see I got some bounty claims here. 5.9 million from those, 85, so it's already, 6 million credits just in bounties. If you die, you lose those, so don't die. So that's the thing, if you're out here doing this, you're having a wonderful time, you're in open play, and you go back to turn those in, and they kill you, you lose your bounties. Now you won't lose your mission progress. Say you were just out here bounty hunting, you would lose all of that effort and time you put in to make credits doing bounty hunting. And again, people love to do that. Yeah, just don't get that mentality anymore. Seen some laser fire over here. It's probably the 3 dudes that's causing trouble, but maybe it's somebody new. It is new because that's an Imperial Clipper. And he is a mission target. And he's in a wing. Get shots on him. Yep. They definitely love to run into you. But you can see that did not do him well. Got cannons reloading, switching to the next target. J for the Lance. Those shields down. Start hitting them with the corrosives. Bye. That's minor most likely, but I'll get the scan. He's running away. Mission target. I don't think I'll catch him. I can hit him. Before he leaves, he would want to fight. He left. That yellow trail is my engine trail. Can use external view. It's not the greatest. I wouldn't want to do anything other than take a picture. shooting at the clean dude. Again, this is these buttos that are around here causing a problem. Just want to get rid of them so they're not here. Reloading cannons. The top cannons are what rips the shield off, so that's why you'll see me dip the nose every now and then. Save the bullets in the smaller guns. He needs to get a little closer. Come on, reload, please. Meanwhile, his buddy's back there just chipping away. Okay, I'm switching to his buddy. He wants to fight, apparently. That guy just wants to shoot at the other dude. Where did his buddies go? I see you. Found his buddies. Next target. Like, I gotta go, I gotta go. He didn't make it. He's not a mission target, but again, he's causing me not to get spawns. See where we're at now. 20. So it does take a while. Gets a little bit hard with your buddies because if you come in together, you're in a wing. Each one of your buddies has to hit the target before you destroy it. So you got to call your targets out. You got to make sure everybody tags the target that you're shooting at, and the targets like to run away. So it's very difficult to keep everybody concentrating on fire instead of just tagging targets while you're getting hammered. That happens to me a lot. Generally, the one doing the most damage does get aggro, so you end up getting aggro while your other buddies are tagging targets. You can end up without shields pretty quick.
Flight assist off.
I just turned flight assist off so I can actually flip around. You see I'm not giving any input, but I'm still flipping end over end. And I'm still going the same direction I was going when I last thrusted. So it's definitely more, realistic. Because when you actually do move your ship, you got to do small inputs with your thrusters to try to negate the movement that you're doing. So it does take a little getting used to. It actually takes a lot of getting used to, but you can still see I'm going down.
Flight assist on.
Turn that back on, your thrusters will start getting you going in the right direction again. Fer-de-lance. Fer-de-lances used to be like OP, they'd kick your tail.
Scout detected.
He's wanted, but he's not a mission target. To remember that name, he scanned me, I'll look for him as soon as I kill this guy. You really want the big fours going with the little ones because the little ones are putting the corrosive on and then the big ones are doing lots of damage. So you try to get all those cannons working for you.
Under attack. Target destroyed.
And then that person's name. I think it was Uriel. That scanned me. Mission target. Get his attention. Those corrosive shells, once that shields are down, you get that corrosive buff on there, the cannons just chew them up. It's all over. See, laser fire. Type 9, so he's just a miner most likely. He's getting pirates chasing him. He's wanted, but he's not a target. But we'll help the little dude out here and take some heat off of him. That guy is a mission target. Go ahead and switch back to other target. Welcome, Mr. Type 9. Our Type 9 dude made it through it. So he's probably getting the hell out of here. He dropped a bunch of mines, which is all that white stuff up above our heads there on the radar. Those are all proximity mines. We want to stay away from those. In there, working it. We only got 10 minutes left though, so I don't think we're gonna get a 54. But basically, we just do them all, get them all finished, turn them all in, get some more, rinse and repeat. If you're working on your combat rank, this is, how you work on your combat rank. And according to how the pilots are rated is how many points you get. Basically, after you get so high, you pretty much have to have elite pilots or you don't get anything. Take forever. It's an anaconda, so he's going down anyway, but I got to get the scan. If you have a kill warp scanner, you can actually possibly get more bounties. They may be wanted in different systems. But I don't have one of those, or I may have one, I just don't have it on a fire group. That's it. Anyways, fix weapons. He hit a shield cell back, but it didn't do him any good. And then he rammed into me. And I hit him. And the reason I hit him is he was chafing, and I was just keeping his guns not pointed towards me while he was chafing. And close enough though I'm shooting because some of my targets are landing. Just ran out of ammo on one of my cannons, so I'll have to go get some ammo. You can make ammo out of your materials that you've gathered, but that gets expensive very quickly because it takes a long time to get those materials. $250,000. We'll go ahead and get ready to go get some bullets. I don't know if there's carriers here that will give us crap, so we're gonna go back to my carrier. It's plotted. Look to see where the rocks are. I'll check this dude though in case he does. There's a federal gunship there. This guy just scanned me. He's not a mission target, so I'm going to continue to leave the area. Trying to find out where the rocks are and go away from the rocks. You'll notice there on the right side under fuel it says a mass lock, so I got to get out of the rings. So I just kind of go straight up above the rings. I'm trying to look to see if I'm about 90, just to get away from them. And we're not mass locked, so we'll jump into Super Cruise. Oh, we can go straight to hyperspace because right there's our target. Then we'll pick up our fighter this time. That way I can show you the fighter. And it's not the greatest, but it does help. See, my system capacitor is completely drained. That's because it's getting those engines shields charged. So 75% throttle. That was weird. Gettysburg disappeared for a second. Carrier is not a must-have, but it is nice. It is expensive, especially the upkeep. But there's no big stations at these two systems, so you have to fly to another system to land and dock and do all that. You can land on those carriers, and if that carrier decides to move, you will move with it. So if you don't play for a month, 2-3 days even, you may be a long way from where you want it to be. So that can be a pain.
Access granted. Proceed to your allocated path, Commander. Docking request confirmed. Assisted approach is go.
Landing gear deployed.
Bullets, fuel, and then you also do your maintenance there on that screen, but you can also come into, they separate, it's a big long story of why they separated this, it's a pain in the ass, but basically they separated repairs because people were complaining about how much it cost to repair your ship, so they did a regular repair plus a ship integrity, so it's separate. So now instead of one place you got to go to, and it still costs about the damn same. Please change that back where there's not two different places. So there I am, fully repaired. Had a little bit of damage from just whatever, even though my shields never went down. I got bullets and beans now. I could go into my crew lounge. I can bring Annabelle out of retirement. Set her active. You can tell she's been with me for a while because she's made over 2 billion credits while flying around, so that's 2 billion of my dollars. I do have a redemption office on board, so I can redeem any combat vouchers. I thought I could turn there are bounties, so I could turn them in, but you see I'm going to take a 75% hit there, or a 25% hit. um, for doing this. You would think that the carrier owner gets that 25%, but he doesn't. But I'm going to turn them in anyway because it is an easy place to turn them in. Usually what I do is save those and I turn them back in when I'm turning in my missions. But just for the heck of it, I'm turning them in here. So I'm ready to go again. But I need to take a bathroom break. So I will be back in just a minute. Don't leave. Don't do it. I am back. I am answering a text message. Hold on. Please stand by. My eyes are watering for some reason, and I can't see because of this watering. Please stand by. Don't give up. I'm almost done. Texting. We are back. How many more do we gotta go? $23 of 36. Almost got that one. So, you know, we're not even halfway on that other one, though. We can go ahead and check our navigation. Go ahead and move us back to Manani. Before we leave, we can go ahead and check our carrier management one more time and see if we can move the ship to Manani. No free slots. You son of a gun. No free slots. Come on, man. It would be awesome if I could park right here. I was hoping somebody would be moving, but nobody's moving. We will try again before.
Landing count disengaged. Restrict speed until a carrier is far behind you.
That's the advantage. If you find this system again, you can find them in the same type of situation. You gotta look. But if you find them, it's out of the beaten path and nobody knows about, then getting your carrier in and out of there is easy peasy lemon squeezy. But they are hard to find in the right state, and then if you're the only one that kind of knows about it and nobody's playing there, it's hard to keep the factions and the system in the state that you need to get carrier missions. Here, with all the carriers, you can guess there's lots of people here doing that. A lot of those people know what they need to do to keep the system and the factions in the state that need to be in to be giving out these missions, so they're constantly
You have
working
now
on it.
departed the no-fire zone. Take care out there, Commander.
And while you can do it yourself, or you and a buddy can do it fairly easy, it's still a lot of work. It's much nicer when you don't have to even worry about that. All you gotta do is go over there, because the other players that are going to keep that in that state are going to do that, so you don't have to worry about it. And that's another good thing about this being connected to one world, basically, whether you're in open or closed. Those state changes affect all modes of gameplay. Again, thanks for watching. Please, hit that thumbs up if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you see when we go live and do streams. If you're on Twitch, please follow and subscribe. We definitely need all of those because we just started streaming. And I need to get more followers. Hopefully I'm doing something that's making you learn something about this game. And we do play World of Warships, and I do play Forza Horizon 5. I played 4, 3, 2. Didn't play the first one. I play other games. I do love survival games, but not all of the buddies that I play with like survival games, so I don't play them as much as I used to. But I will get back into playing them. I play Astroneer, which is a great little fun game. If you haven't tried that, it's on Game Pass. It is a lot of fun. I've played it since it came out, before it was on Game Pass, and paid for it, and I would have paid for it again because it is a fun game. I've played Minecraft with the building, with the stuff with redstone and stuff. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun. I didn't think I would like Minecraft at all, and I did like it. It was a lot of fun. I've played it quite a bit. Get to 7. We're going to 75% throttle. Start slowing this big beast down. We actually, when we get close enough to the planet, when we look at these contacts, we'll actually see the hazardous zones. You'll actually see them, visually as well. maybe it's navigation. I'm sorry, I told you wrong. You'll see them under navigation. See, there's one, there's one. This one's definitely in the sun more than that one, and it is rotating, so I think I'll go into this one. You can go into the dark ones, it's really dark and it's hard to see, especially the rocks. They'll just be, you won't see them till you hit them, even with your ship lights on. Again, I kind of want to get to where I can come down on this thing straight. Or some sort of an angle. You just don't want to be skipping across the top of those rocks. You'll hit the rocks and it'll throw you out. And then you got to get back into Super Cruise and do it again and again and again. So it's best if you can get up, come down at this at 80, 90 degrees, even 75, even 45 degrees. You just don't want to be skipping across those rings trying to get here. You will get kicked out of Super Cruise. We're here. Slow down. Down here and get our fighter out. Oh, did I not get her? No, there she is.
Scan detected.
Roger.
Oh,
Tally
I'm
press
gonna hit a
startup.
rock.
Engage.
Oh, I'm gonna hit a rock. Gonna hit a rock. Gonna hit a rock. Gonna hit a rock.
Fighter is clear of the mothership.
Been a while since I've done that, so couldn't get her out fast enough. So she's out there now. She's gonna protect me. She's in protect me mode. So as something starts shooting at me, she will shoot. I can also tell her to attack a target. So these two are targets. I do have a keybind, but who knows what the heck that is. That I can tell her to do this. So I can tell her, hey, orders, go attack that target.
Affirmative.
And she will start shooting that target. And then when that target starts hitting me, she will automatically start shooting at him. Get his shields down, and then she'll start shooting that gas cannon at him again. I probably need a different ship to do this because she's going to run out of ammo pretty quick, I think. I can't remember if the gas runs out of ammo or not, but you can see she's got aggro. He's not paying attention to me. I ripped his shields off. Now she's hitting him. She's trying to hit him. Help her out a little. But she does help with, you know, keeping that aggro off of you. If there's multiples, you can actually sell her, you know, attack target A while you're hitting target B, just to keep them from hammering your shields. Now, if you are working on your, oh, got the shields up, get those back down. I'm getting scanned by Matt, so we look over here. Where's Matt at? He's in an Anaconda. You got to make sure that she's not going to attack a target you haven't scanned, because you can click a target that's clean, tell her to attack it, and she will. She does what she is in order to do. So she will get you wanted. You have to be careful with giving her orders. You got to make sure what you're ordering her to do is something you really want to do. He's got that shield bank going, but that didn't help him. He's chafing, but he's so close, I'm just firing. I am hitting him. I got hot, so I quit shooting for a second. I'll hit those lasers a few times, put my heat down. Just eat on him. And the Gauss cannon she's shooting is a fixed cannon, so she'll continue to shoot at him even while you're not, when that chafing is going on. Chaffing, whatever you want to say. Shaffing, I don't know.
No more contacts. Deactivating hardpoints.
Then she just, flies around out there beside you. Can't really see her. But that's the blue 222 meter, 226. She's flying off to my side. You can fly the fighters. The fighters are fun, but then she's flying your ship, so who knows what she's going to do, of course. Makes you kind of nervous to get your ship blown up while you're out in the little fighter. The fighters are very speedy, very agile, and they die very quickly. She is an elite pilot. I got her when she was a novice, and then I've used her until she became elite. Saves you a little bit of money than if you just hire a straight up elite pilot. It does cost more out of your pocket. But when they're new, it costs you a lot because they get ships blowed up a lot. So I can go ahead and tell her, hey, go attack that target. Even though he's out of range, you can see she's going. So I just keep going towards him. And she'll go attack that target, which will mark him as my target. He's in range now. Go ahead and shoot him. She's not got there yet. Strafing. You still see her shooting. That is a Guardian fighter, which takes a pretty good grind just to get. The Federation grinders, fighters are pretty good, but that gas cannon does hurt them pretty good. But I mainly had the gas in there when I was fighting the Theragord, which are the alien NPCs. Because you have to have Guardian weapons to hurt the Theragord. Don't hear me say that. So there are aliens in the galaxy.
Awaiting further orders.
A little bit far out from the center, so I'm just going to head back that way. You can switch. So if I switch, it's going to load me into the fighter. And now she's in the ship. So now she'll follow me around. And you can tell this thing is zippy, zippy, zippy. The computer has it a little better than we do because she can do this stuff right like this anytime she wants. While she's, flying around, she could flip through her settings for her power distribution way quicker than we can. Whoa, that's a rock. No fire groups to find. See, my fire groups are gone here too. Oh, I can't even set a fire group up. There you go. So it does have ammo. I see it down there now. 88 of 80. So I don't know. Maybe when she's using it, it doesn't use ammo. I don't know. She definitely shot, and it still says she got 80. Well, I wanted to find a ship and find something in this, but I ain't having much luck finding anything. You can see our ship there. It's the biohazard. She's trying to keep up with this little thing as I flip and flop and turn. Whoa, that was painful. I just ran into the ship. Oh yeah. Woo. Woo, woo.
Flight assist off. Flight assist on.
Can we quit spinning?
Detected.
Thank you. It's an Imperial something. You can see it's Imperial courier. You can tell this thing is just so much more maneuverable. It takes a lot getting used to. So I just tagged that target so she'll start shooting at it. You can see this is a fixed weapon, so I got it basically kind of the same. If I put my cursor right where it's leading there,
Under attack.
you see I'm getting my butt kicked.
Warning. Thermal signature amplified.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch because she's way better at this than I am.
I've got the stick, Commander. Awaiting further orders. Shield's gone, Commander. This does not look good.
And she blowed up.
Fighter is down, Commander.
Under attack.
You do have multiple fighters on board, so I'll get her out again as soon as I get rid of these guys. Shields to stay up, but they didn't.
Scan detected.
The courier is very maneuverable for a small ship. He's got all kinds of those shaft launchers.
Target destroyed.
He probably shouldn't have ran into me. It was bad for him. So anyway, I can come back down. You can see a 7 of 8 now. They also have the javelin that shoots a fixed shard cannon. Are they the same thing? I guess they are the same thing. I think I just decided that those did the most DPS. So I had 2 banks of them.
Wilco, Bay is prepped. Systems online. All clear, Commander. Put me in the thick of it.
Get him back on that. We're past our stream time of 4 o'clock, but we're still playing. Anaconda out here somewhere.
Scan detected.
He's wanted, but he's not a mission target. You know what that means?
Things were a little hairy
Wonderful
for a second there.
explosion.
No more hostiles detected.
Mission target. Go ahead and tell her to
Hear
go
you loud
cause
and clear.
trouble.
I'm moving in.
This is a federal gunship. I can't remember if a gunship has a fighter. I think it might not. I think a dropship does. So anyway, he may drop a fighter out, and if so, then we'll have two. That's another good reason for having her. You can tell her to fight the fighter while you fight the main ship.
Hey, let's up the friendly fire, Commander.
Boom. I like the sound. Sounds cool. I don't know if it would actually make a sound in space, would it? And a message. I was looking up the message while I'm flying away from the center. He's clean. I keep getting messages. There she is. You can see her. You're right there. Right up at the window, the little blue thing. You can barely see her. You see contact out there, federal assault ship.
Scan detected. Under attack. Shields offline.
I have owned every ship in the game. I tried one of those a long time ago, and they are very tanky. But I swear it takes forever to kill something. But I did build a federal gunship not too long ago and fully engineered it because I didn't have it engineered previously. And it is fun. Maybe I'll go get it and swap out. It just it does take a long time to kill stuff. And engineered, it does do pretty good. But the shields, of course, aren't near as good as this thing. So after, you know, a fight, your shields are going to be down, and you got to wait for them to charge.
Shields gone, Commander. This does not look good. Any more of this and I've had it, Commander. Hull is critical.
Yeah, she's gonna get toasted. Her shields are back up, but her hull's almost gone. I'll call her in after this. You could just leave her out there if I were to be in trouble. She's only got 1 or 2 hits and she's gone. So I can tell her to go ahead and recall and just shoot her on the land. See if I can get a... Oh, no, that was the wrong button. Oh, she's landing. The camera suite on this thing's not the greatest, especially if you haven't used it in a while, but you can see she lands there in the ship. Now that she's in, I can just basically go back down and I can pull out the other bank of fighters. I think she means I just about didn't make it out of that one, but she says I just didn't let him out. I don't know. She says that wrong, I think. So she's back out there, so I can come back to her, go to orders, and just put it on attack targets. It's already there, so I'm gonna look down. Somebody did scan me, so I'm coming around to see who that was. And they are brothers of Manani.
Affirmative. Maneuvering to attack position.
I'm gonna hit switch targets, see if this is the other one, and it is. So she will be shooting at that first one, while I shoot at this one. Main cannons are reloaded now, so they're melt. Then I can switch to the other target. You can see she's been keeping him busy over there, not shooting at my shield, so it really does work. And if you're in a ship that's not engineered, that's very handy so that you're not getting hammered. And it will take me a bit to get some aggro back from her. Basically, probably about the time I get his shield ripped off, you'll tell that. You'll be like, ah, maybe I should shoot at this guy, he's more dangerous. But he didn't make it. They just shooting at somebody, so that's a miner dropping those proximity mines. Here's where she comes in real handy, is these little bitty fast ships that fly around and around circles around you. They can't fly circles around her. She'll continue to hit them, especially after you rip their shields off. That Gauss cannon will do quite a bit of damage. And we got another target of opportunity there. I'm going to get rid of him quickly. Dang it, you. Not even fighting you yet, and you're hitting
That's the
me.
last of them, Commander.
Now, this may have been the guy that he was shooting at, but he may not be clean. He's not. It's kind of weird they were shooting each other and they're both brothers of Manani.
Affirmative. Maneuvering to attack position.
I didn't have to tell her to attack, I just went ahead and did. It's kind of a habit. Once he shot at me, she took off after him, so she was already on the way. I don't know if I said this, if you are working on your combat rank, she is taking some of the points away from you. Even if she's not even out there, if she's on board. So if you're working on your combat rank, don't take a fighter. Come on. How many of those you got? He got his shields up.
Things were a little hairy for a second there. No more hostiles detected.
Are we anywhere close? 34 almost. That one. This one. 34, 45. So one is almost done. I heard a ship jump in. Maybe more. I see 3 targets here. It's clean. It's clean. So that's a wing of 3. And they're all clean, so he's coming into mine with 2 little fighters to protect him. Go ahead and get the scan, that way it's on my list of people, so I'll know when I look over their contacts, I'll be able to tell if they're clean or not. He's one, and I hear something shooting. Those are proximity mines. He's not a mission target, but again, he's a spawn that's taking up space, so.
Enemy wiped
Linda
out.
just
Awaiting
scanned
further
me.
orders.
I played this game on PC on my Oculus. It's really awesome. You just, look around. When you want to look at that panel, you just move your head, look over there, and when you're wanting to track a target, you just look at it. Just look at it. It's really cool. It will, an hour of playing on that thing, and you're ready to stop. It'll wear you out. And the account's not the same, so I don't have all my ships. I do have a couple of big ships, but I have no engineering on that account. There was some mining that happened before the combat update. You can see those guys are the ones I scanned. I could see they have no record, so that's why I finished that scan. Anyway, there was a mining update, and there was these low temperature diamonds that you could go get, and they were doing that so that people could make money to buy fleet carriers when they were coming out, because they knew how much the fleet carriers wanted to be, and they weren't telling us. So I did like $2 billion worth of mining, thinking, oh, that'll be plenty, and then to come to find out, just the carriers $5 billion plus the $24 million a week. They really don't want everyone to have a carrier. Of course, they're parking up everywhere, taking up space, so I can see where they're coming from. When you use the third-party tools, if you're looking for materials and things, a lot of carrier captains will buy lots of those materials that are in high demand and mark them up, and then you can use those third-party tools. Say you need something that's very far away from civilization, but yet they park their carrier right outside the station to where you're supposed to deliver this rare item, then they can make quite a bit of money. Not a lot, really, compared to this. It's not a lot, I don't think. Maybe it is. You can tell me if you do that and it pays off. I have done some. I do buy tritium, which is the fuel that the carrier needs, and I do buy that. But I don't buy that at an extreme cost. It's like a 20%, 25% bump So I'm willing to pay over market value just so that I don't have to go get it and deliver it, because it's quite a bit. Me and Jaeger and Buddy play this game together quite a bit, and the three of us can fill up the ship in a couple hours. But that's three of us working to fill up the ship. So if I like just pay 25% more, then people will sell me till I get full, and I stay full of tritium. He's a mission target, so we will start shooting. Unfortunately, my big guns are reloading. Come on, reload. Thank you. Somebody,
Things were a little hairy for a second there. No more hostiles detected.
somebody's offering a mission for something. Looks like I just finished the one, and then there's like past weekly vouchers and weekly upkeep that gets paid automatically whether they're on or not, as long as there's money in the bank. If there's not money in your carrier bank, your carrier goes into a shutdown mode for a while, and then it gets repossessed, and then all of your equipment, ships, including all your buddies, gets sent to some local station that's closest to wherever your carrier is, apparently. I don't know this. I read up on this because I wanted to know what happened if that did happen. But what I did is just went out and made a hell crap ton of money and put it in the bank so that it would keep me going for a long time. But I do wish they would lower that. I mean, once I buy it, that's enough. I mean, come on. It's supposed to be a game, not a job. There was something over here, but he got too far away out of sensors or something. Or he may have jumped out. There's a little radio chatter going on, so somebody's getting shot out here. So you can see that one says updated, so that means that one's done. I still need quite a few for that one, quite a few more for this one. There are other ways to find these guys. You can actually search for signal sources out in the black in this system, and you can find them, and it is a little faster, but it does require you to find those sources and then to go kill 3, 4, 5, 6 ships that are in there and then find another signal source. Now you can basically log out and log back in, and that instance will reset most of the time. That requires you to log in and out of the game. And that doesn't work too good when you're streaming. Where did he go? He was right there. That's a mission target. I fought the Vulture for a long time. It is a tough little ship. It takes forever to kill stuff in that too. 'Cause you only got 2 weapons. But it's got good shields for its size. And the hull's pretty good. Not against engineered weapons.
Target destroyed.
Enemy wiped out. Awaiting further orders.
If you're playing in a wing and you got, I think we had 2 of us in Vultures and 1 of us in an Asp Explorer. And the Asp Explorer is an explorer, not really a fighter ship, but we had him with multi-cannons, and me and my other buddy had laser weapons, so we'd rip the shields off and then he would tear into him with the cannons and we would kill him pretty quick, but we had to be very careful picking on wings. Wing of 3 with an Anaconda or something was very painful. We'd kill them most of the time, but we'd end up having to go back to base to repair and turn in the 1 or 2 bounties we got from picking on a wing. Boosting toward the laser fire. And that guy's wanted. Let's see who's shooting. He's wanted. He's clean, so he was... Oh, that was the guy we scanned a while ago. So his 2 little fighter buddies are apparently gone. So they've killed him. I'll help him out here. There's one of those proximity mines he's dropping. I got too close to him. Go ahead and slow the ship down. It's going a little fast to do combat maneuvers. Little roll, keep him from bouncing off my shields.
They're trying to escape, Commander.
So he's trying to get away, and so is his buddy. So most likely his buddy will get away.
Target cargo dropped.
And that's kind of new. They used to not run away like that. But now they'll run away, so you'll lose targets. And that's where it comes in to where you get your buddies tagging targets, trying to tag everybody. And then by the time they get them tagged, they're trying to jump away. So, but if you focus, kill them as quickly as possible, you can generally get them all killed. The more people you have in here, generally the more ships. So you may have 6 or 8 ships that are, you're trying to get killed all at one time. Can get rather hectic. Still good on ammo on most of the guns. Big number 4 there's kind of low. Is that the 4? No. The engineering on one of my guns actually reduces magazine capacity, so that one always runs out first. You can still fight with the others, it just doesn't do as much DPS. Head back toward the spawn site. It all depends on how much out here, what kind of state this is in too. I talked about states of system and factions a while ago. So this system, if you look at your system map, you can actually see what state it's in, and it's in boom. So the state of the system is in boom. So you're not going to get as many as if it weren't. It's actually an outbreak too. and civil unrest. So, I mean, we should be getting civil unrest because of all this stuff going on that you're doing.
Scan detected.
He's wanted, but somebody else just scanned me. Sulcra. Let's see if he's wanted before we waste bullets and time on somebody that's not a mission target. He is a mission target.
Affirmative. Maneuvering to attack position.
You can see when she hits with that gas when their shields are down, it does do pretty good little chunks with that fighter.
Target destroyed.
Enemy wiped out. Awaiting further orders.
See, she likes to take credit for those when you're like, I think I did most of that. Like, oh yeah, we took him out. Like, wait a minute. Who took him out? It's awful crowded in my sky. He's annoying at 2. He's clean. You can tell he's mining. He's got his mining laser going there against that rock. I'd like to get his partner scanned too, so he's in my database. There he is. So now they're both in there. Make sure I distarget in case I accidentally hit a trigger. I could see those two guys have no record. See who this dude is. They generally, they chase you down once they get in your spawn. See, he was fixing to scan me. He's a mission target in the wing. Go ahead and switch targets.
That's gotta hurt. Target down.
See, she wants to take credit for that too, I can tell you.
Target destroyed.
It was a good fight, apparently. That's what he said. It's 40. Got 14 more to go. We'll be done with the other 2 missions. Again, searching for those signal sources. If you do that, I can't remember. That's not a. There's a signal source that has a threat level of whatever threat you think you can handle. Say a 3, maybe pretty quick. I mean, you try to find it something quick you can do, so you can do it, quick and not have your shields beat absolute to death after every encounter. But they will get beat down much more than they do in here. There's more ships, so you get more done at a time. He's wanted in a wing. I want to target him before he starts shooting at that guy. Go ahead and kill him.
Under attack.
And then switch to his buddy that's hitting me with a pulse cannon. And this again is where she comes in handy because she's keeping him pressured even while you're turning around. Get those shields ripped off.
Target destroyed.
Target destroyed. That's our two guys that are mining that we've already scanned. Get this down to about 4 or so, we'll run back and get bullets, and I'll switch to that other ship just so you can see a smaller ship. It isn't fully engineered though. Takes a lot of time, especially when you got so many ships, and then I try to engineer them all. Takes a long time to do all of the engineering, but I've been playing this game since it came out on Xbox. This game actually came out in like the 80s. And the developers had an ingenious idea to create this game that was hours and hours of gameplay versus having a game that was 3 lives and you're done in just a few minutes. Because at the time, that's what everything was. Basically had 3 lives. You played for a few minutes and you were done. And they had very strict restrictions on memory usage and that kind of thing because the equipment at the time just couldn't handle it, and they did a really cool thing with how they coded to be able to use that very low amount of memory. So it's really neat. You can watch it on YouTube and see how they did it and when they did it, and trying to get it published and stuff. They had a lot of... Nobody thought it was going to work because they're like, no, that's not what video games are about. You're supposed to have 3 lives and done in 15, 20 minutes.
Target destroyed.
Fun-ching. That's our mining buddies. We're really protecting them. They should be paying us some kind of percentage of their haul. The way I've got my controller set up is kind of how I fly model airplanes. I fly radio control helicopters and airplanes. But anyway, with my left stick I can thrust straight up and straight down. Right stick is basically my aileron control or roll. My left stick up and down is my pitch control. And then my left stick, left and right, is my rudder basically, or yaw. My throttles are my bumpers. I mean, that's just how I set it up. You can set it up however you want, of course. You do have a couple different flight modes. So I've got 2. I've got one that allows a lot of basically strafing, like, so I can go left and right and up and down without rolling. So then that's for landing and takeoff. But I don't really use it that much anymore because of the auto land and auto dock. But again, you need to know how to do that. It's very important.
Scan detected.
Here we go. Got a python. Those usually have pretty good bounties on them. He is a missing target. And he's big and cumbersome. Not as big as we are, but he's more cumbersome. But they're very tanky. I've got a couple. I use them for different things, not fighting.
destroyed.
Things were a little hairy for a second there. No more hostiles detected.
That looks like it's a type 6, so he's probably just another miner. Get the scan. That's probably our buddies. He's wanted. He's going after our little buddies.
Sorry, Commander,
And
no
gonna
can do.
kick his tail. Why not? Why can't you do that?
No, I can't.
Why? What's your problem? You gonna let him shoot that purple shit at me? Farrell is scanning me. I'll have to look at that as soon as I get rid of him. Really don't need those shields, do you?
Target destroyed.
You can see this guy's name's Farrell under that's master, so that's his rating, right? So if you're at a master, he's not really going to give you very many points, if any. I really don't think you get any unless they're elite after a certain point. I mean, it just took forever to get combat elite. He's not a mission target, but again, he's taking up space, and there's 3 of them, so.
Under attack.
I won't be able to do that.
What's wrong with her? Oh, I bet she's out of bullets or something. I have to recall her here in a second. I'm chasing the wrong target.
Scan detected. Target destroyed.
On my way, Commander. Fighter retrieval commencing.
So she'll land, and of course I kind of got to stay straight for a minute or she can't get on board. Trying to kill our miners, man. We got to keep those guys safe.
Under attack.
She's still trying to get on board because I keep flipping end over end. Strikers just scanned me.
Target destroyed.
Things were a little hairy for a second there. No more hostiles detected.
Are you getting in the boat? She's almost landed. I think she's attached.
Docking completed. Hangar is secure, Commander. Roger. Tally present startup engaged.
So that is a mission target.
Tally presence online, awaiting your orders.
That was a wing and one by himself, so I'll get rid of him and then go back to the wing. Just isn't fair. That's what he was saying. This ain't fair. Somebody else is scanning me. pissed off apparently. So Python, he's clean. Yeah, one of my pythons I used to mine with all the time, but I don't really do that anymore. I mine with a crate, or I mine with my Empire, whatever that thing's called. I can't remember. The great big ship. It's got crap tons of cargo, so you can mine a lot.
No more contacts. Deactivating hardpoint.
Oh, there was more contacts. What are you talking about? There was 3 of them. Where did they go?
Copy that, Commander. Engaging enemy now.
Send her after that one, and I'm going after this one.
Target destroyed.
Do a little boost burn, get caught up.
Target destroyed.
Got him. So we got 2 of them done. 4 more to go, so let's go. Recall the fighter.
Fighter retrieval initiated, Commander.
Go ahead and point up that way. I'll hard points in. Go ahead and get our hot route plotted. Marks are great. Oops. Really didn't mean to do that. Now it'll take a while to catch up.
Docking complete. Fighter secure, Commander.
Frameshift drive charging.
We will go get some bullets, gas, repair, and switch ships just so y'all can see a different ship.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1.
So those little circles out there, of course I did that. Right there, so it says unexplored. There will be some that say signal source threat, and that'll be the signal sources, but you have to do that in the Manani system. We just left that system to come here to get bullets and change ships. We went an hour and 19 minutes over so far. Took longer than I thought it would to kill 54. I'm assuming this is on this side of the planet because it is solid yellow. If it was dashed, that would mean it would be on the other side of the planet.
Thank you for visiting our carrier. We hope you find what you're looking for.
6.5 kilometers request.
Clearance granted. Move directly to your landing pad. You have been cleared for approach. Feel free to relax. Your docking computer is in control.
Landing gear deployed.
Space stations and your carrier are no fire zones, as you've seen there. You don't want to have your hard points out. You will get a ticket, and if you keep leaving it out, they will shoot you. Got fuel, did the initial repair.
Commence shutdown. Welcome, Commander.
I'm gonna go ahead and do this because I want it to be ready when I come back. And then we'll switch to the Imperial Cutter. That's what I was thinking. That's a big ship. Actually bigger than this one, I think. But it's very slow. You can see I got mining lasers on it, so it's set up for mining. There's the Type 10 that I leave out there to kill stuff by itself. My Anaconda jump ship, which is my exploration ship that I went out to the Beagle Point and back in. Or is that I've got two of those. Why do I have two of those? Hodor. Hodor is not. Hodor is what I use to kill Guardians. I can see Guardian weapons on it. The Kobayashi Maru. She is what I use to jump with. For some reason I have a pulse laser on it now. I think I was doing fighter stuff. You can see it's got 75 light year range, jump range. And then you take the laser off, and a couple things I changed to do the last mission I did with that, and I can get that up to 80. There's my Beluga liner. It's a great big ship, and that is a luxury class liner that I do passenger missions in. I got a couple crates. This one looks like I was fighting Thergoid in it. It has Guardian weapons. Here's the Federal gunship that I engineered, Mystic Goose. So this one doesn't have a fighter. This is a medium-sized ship, so I can take this to turn the missions in. That I would have had to switch ships to go turn the mission in because that anything requires a large pad can't land it.
Please confirm. Departure
Pretty
confirmed.
sure I can land this in a medium. That's a good question. What did I just take off from? Yeah, it's a medium pad. Did I take off from one of those or that one? I don't know. Go back to Manani. Going here. Oh, I don't want to bookmark. It's already bookmarked. Whoop, 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 whoop. Go crazy now. Come on, calm down. And while we're sitting here before we jump, let's check that carrier management and see if I can move the carrier yet. To Manani. No free slots. So it's really hard to get in there because it is a very populated system. Mission objective detected.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
You'll notice I didn't get that fuel scooping thing in my big fighter, the Corvettes, because I don't have a fuel scoop. That thing is definitely a short range type aircraft. Spacecraft, I guess. I do have a fuel scoop I can put on it in case I need to, like I got a bounty, accidentally shot a clean dude. I have to put the fuel scoop on and then go skipping across the damn galaxy to find a place I can land and pay it. You know what? I bet I don't have fire groups on this either. I don't know what they did to the fire groups. Yeah, so 1, 1, 1, oh, 2, sorry. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's really it. I don't need the discovery scanner or anything for this. I don't know what happened with the fire groups or why they changed. But they did. Oh, forgot that 7 seconds, didn't I? Loop of shame. So I tried to porpoise a little bit, try to get slowed down. And then back to 75%. If you for a couple seconds more, I'd have went right on by, and it would have took a pretty good while to get turned around, slowed down. See, there's one that's really getting in the dark. That one's pretty good. Those are all the carriers. And they're taking up all the good parking spaces. Your wallet in your wallet, you got 2 wallets. So one, see, I got 3.1, and then in the carrier I got the 6.5. So you do have 2 wallets. So we don't have a fighter now, and we're in a much different ship, you know, so I'll have to kind of be careful, but this thing is pretty dang tough. He's wanted, but he's not a mission target. He is a mission target. Did a little bounce off, took a ring. He still ain't pissed because he's like, oh, that was an accident. Red started working on him with them lasers. And let the Dakas come in there. And you can see this thing does get hot. This thing I'd forgotten, it is very dependent on you keeping that laser that does cooling shooting. So I think I had that on the same fire group previously on the Akadakas, so they were always shooting. He is a mission target. Daka. He's got a buddy. So, you know, it's definitely doable, but now then again, this ship is fully engineered. Shields, weapons, everything. But it does take a little while longer to kill stuff. And the heat problem's not a problem unless it's engineered. It's engineered to making it a little hot. I think that pulse cannon there over on the right, the one pulling that heat off.
Target shields online. Target destroyed.
Well, that was it. All four, so all of them are done now, so we can get the heck out of Dodge. Oh, that's a big rock. Oh, that's a big rock. Go ahead, pull the hard points in. headed away from the rocks. Kind of look like we are. And we want to go to Nagalan to Hickam survey. And I hope this is a medium ship. I don't know. I wish they would tell you. They might, and I just don't know where it is. Get my hand on the controller. Field scoping. Field scoping complete. So again, this is where we would really wait for our buddies to be on so we could share our loads, our missions. But currently I don't have anybody playing this game. We were all waiting on the Odyssey update, and that's been apparently delayed for a while, ever. It'll eventually come out. That'd be the ability to actually get out of your ship, walk around on planets. PC's had it for a long time. Be really interested to see how much money they make off PC versus console. I'm pretty sure they sold a whole hell of a lot more copies of console game than they did. See, I'm being interdicted. You know what? Just interdict me. How's that? I could get out of that, but I'm just gonna zero throttle. He's in a wing of 3, so I think I'm going to say see you later, buddy. Oh no, the game locked up. Oh, sweet. It came loose. I was like, oh crap. It tried to lock up though. Frame shift is, oh, that's because but I gave zero throttle. Maybe it's just because they're close to me.
Scan detected.
Now who's scanning me?
Frameshift drive charging.
Their ships are close to me. The Anaconda can mass lock you pretty good.
Frameshift drive charging.
Get away from me. Come on, man. I got to go. Got time to fool with you, dog. It's a crate.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, no. This ain't looking good. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, the game is locked up. And I thought it acted funky there when it froze. I'm going to have to kill the game. Start it back. So yeah, I had to kill the game. It locked up. It started doing that when they added fleet carriers, and every now and then it does that. So you just have to kill the game and reload. You can see this grayed out there. I didn't have connection. Probably because I was still in the game, even though it locked up.
Incoming message.
Power vouchers. That's a whole different video there. So where did we end up? Are we in Nagalan? Looks like it. So we did make it to Nagalan before the game went crazy.
Frameshift drive charging.
We got to jump into Super Cruise because when you log in out in space, you're in regular space. That's frustrating sometimes when it does that. I would have thought they would have fixed it by now. I mean, it's been a while since I played. Ever since they added fleet carriers, it started doing that. It doesn't do it all the time. Generally, it's when you enter a system that has fleet carriers that are moving. Or at least that's what my suspect is, that fleet carriers moved or came here right about the time you went to jump here, and it doesn't know what to do. That's the only thing I can think of. You got to be within 6.5 kilometers to request docking, so
Docking request granted.
with the Imperial Cutter, when you come in, you do not boost toward the station because you will not slow down before you hit it.
Landing gear deployed.
So yeah, again, this little outpost stations can only take medium and small aircraft, so I couldn't have landed the Corvette here anyway, so just going there to switch and kill 4 more was not really a waste of time.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Go ahead and do all my normal stuff. Fuel repair, buy bullets. And then turn the missions in. This is where you, if you were in a wing, you would go share the mission before you turn it in. In this particular case, we're just going to do this, and you can turn it in for engineering materials. Those are rarity grade 5, so that is a hard find. But you can see it's red, so that means I'm either at capacity or 5 would put me over capacity. I don't need reputation, so I'm taking the money. Take the money and run. And you can see there, it just, their reputation unfriendly, it went down there a little bit. I was hostile previously, but since I'd went away from the game for a while, it came into unfriendly status. And as I turned that in, you can see I took a little hit there in the red, but I gained a little bit in the allied, because you do fall down a little bit in that. If you don't need the money, or even if you do need the money for engineering, you don't have the engineering materials, a lot of times you want that. I mean, especially grade 5s.
Incoming message.
So I turned those 3 in, made some money. You can see they got more, so you would just take more, restack, and re-go again. You can see now Avis has actually got one. Manani doesn't. Imperial War Grannies, which I think is a very funny name, has some. They generally always do. They do not, and they do. So you could stack about the same 3. Yeah, I need to turn those in. So I go to contacts. I go to, is it authority contact? Yep. And I turn my vouchers in. Additional 8 million credits. So there you go. That's how you do it, folks. Mission stacking takes a while when you do big numbers like that, but it pays off good. And it's a lot of fun going and killing stuff. I really appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already. If you're on Twitch, please follow and subscribe. I would appreciate it. We will see you next time. Actually, later tonight we'll be playing Warships. Take it easy.